The rest is history.
Yeah, absolutely. Now joined by one of my favorites, and seems like one of your favorites, FP.
Oh, I love Bip.
Yeah, love Bip, man. Love Bip Roberts, NBCS California, of course. You hear him every single day for the Oakland A's as the analyst on television. Bip, what's going on, big time? Joined by Jay and F.P. Jr.
Jay and F.P. What's up, boys? Yeah. F.P., I ain't seen you in a while, boy. You know I got nothing but love for you.
What's going on, Bip? It's been a minute. I miss going into the NBC Sports studios, seeing you and just talking to you and just saying, like, what's up?
Yeah, well, if we had conversation in there now, it'd be about how many games the A's are losing.
Oh, man. Ain't you right?
Yeah.
You know, look, Bip, man, I'm glad you touched on the A's from the jump. And, of course, I want to ask you, because being from Oakland, being from the town, you know, Oakland A's, we don't know where the next move is for the Oakland A's, but we'll start here with the Bay Bridge series. Are you interested? Are you tied in? Is it just the fact that, you know, anytime the A's plays the Giants, it's a big deal?
I think it's always a big deal for the Bay because it's always bragging rights. I just think this year it's a little different based on all the things that are happening on the A's side. Giants are doing what they've always done. They're fighting for a way to try to get in the playoffs. And then, you're coming over here to Oakland where we've got a lot of things going on. I just think what's going to happen is you're going to have a big crowd. They're going to enjoy the game, but there are going to be some guys yelling certain things at certain times. I think we just need to focus on the game. I'm working Sunday's game. Dave Stewart I think he's a part of the Hall of Fame ceremony, so I'm going to fill in for him. So I'll be watching the game, watching it closely. My job is to analyze it. I just want to know why they won, who did well and why they did well, and I just want to do my job when it comes to the pre and the post.
Everything around the A's is so negative right now, Bip. We know it. Is there, there have been, a lot of rainy days, but what is the one positive thing A's fans should be focusing on right now? What is the one thing they could look forward to this weekend?
Jell-off.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm really liking his bat. I'm really liking how he plays second base. He's a guy that's played well on every level, and now he's come up, and he's doing well on this level. May not be hitting for a high average right now, but he hit a home run last night against a very good pitcher. So it tells me that against the big boys, he will have a chance where we've seen a lot of guys come up, and in 10 days they were sent back down. And we've seen about 70 guys come up this year, and none of them panned out like this guy is panning out. So I think he's a bright spot. And anytime you have something that you can, have a positive mentality and attitude around, and the atmosphere around him is good right now, you just want to see him flourish. So I like to see him continue to play every day, continue to figure out whether he belongs up here or not. But I think he belongs up here, but we just have to see. And I just think that watching him play is exciting because he can run, he can hit, he can field, turns a good double play out there from second base, and I think he's fitting in well up here in the big leagues.
Joined by Bip Roberts, the NBCS former Major League ball player, of course, in the middle infield. Love Bip. Bip, Mount Davis is officially open this weekend. Is there something you're looking forward to jumping out there in Mount Davis?
I wish they'd blow that thing up. Because when I was a kid, man, there was no Mount Davis.
That's right.
The Oakland Hills, when you were, sitting behind the plate, you could look out and see the Oakland Hills, and that's how we grew up. We didn't grow up with the Mount Davis thing. I think when I came back and I saw that, I said, man, who let that happen? Like, really? Y'all let that happen? And nobody complained about that? But to have it open, it just means that a lot of people are coming to the game. I think that's what's important, to have a sellout, especially right now when we talk about the things going on here at the Coliseum and how people really don't like the Coliseum. I love the Coliseum, and I just want to see it filled up because that's good for the players. It gives them a different atmosphere. It's a different feel when the crowd is out there yelling. You can feel that in your body. Your heart starts to beat a little faster, and you start to feel like, man, this is what the big league feels like. Because when you're playing in front of 5,000, 10,000 people, A's fans are loud, but when you're out there and there's 40,000 of them, man, it's just the floor is rumbling up under your feet.
Bip, I was honestly quite shocked that Tony Kemp wasn't traded at the deadline just because of his defensive versatility. But can you talk about Tony Kemp? I've only heard amazing things about Kemp as a person, and it fires me up how hard he goes out and he plays every single night, despite what's happening in Oakland. Is he becoming a cult hero?
Man, that's a good dude, man, on and off the field. On the field, he just makes plays. I think every time he plays, he makes one of those ESPN Play of the Day type of plays out there. And it doesn't matter if he's at second or if he's in left field. And he really starts swinging the bat to go along with his defense. Yeah, I was a little shocked he didn't get traded. My thing is, I don't like to mention guys' names to be traded because I was in that situation. And it's just an unsettling feeling when you're at home. Yeah, you want to go play on a team that's going to playoffs, but you don't want to uproot your kids, and now we got to move somewhere across the country. That's tougher than it seems. But it's stuff that he does off the field in the community. He's just one of those guys, man, that cares a lot about people. I remember talking to him last year on the field. He was struggling, and I was actually doing some broadcasts, and I said, hey, can I talk to Tony? And so you got to go through the proper chain of command, the manager, the hitting instructor, and everybody else, because you don't want to hurt their feelings, right? So they said, yeah, go ahead and talk to him. So I'm standing there, and the next thing you know, he comes over to me, and he starts the conversation. And he said, man, you ever know when you feel like you're not swinging the bat well? And I said, well, you know what, Tony, you're only doing one little thing wrong. You're not using the entire field. Use batting practice to go the opposite way. And that day, man, he got 3 hits. He started turning it around. I said, you know what? It's always amazing to talk to people who listen. And then they take it out there and they flourish because of a little thing that you might have said. Tony's got great talent, don't get me wrong, and he's going to hit no matter what. He worked himself out of a ugly-looking slump earlier this year, and he's been hitting over 300 probably the last 2 months. So this guy works hard. He's a great team player. He's a leader in the clubhouse, and I don't think they would, if you traded Tony, it'd be hard to replace him.
Yeah, joined by Bip Roberts at NBC California. Bip, man, this is something I've always wanted to rock and ask you, man, as playing as growing up, being a middle infielder myself and moving over to second as we got higher in college and minors and all that type of stuff. Who's the best shortstop you ever played? I would imagine you were going to tell me Barry Larkin, but who's that one that's across on your right-hand side? You was like, man, that's a bad boy.
How about across of Gary Templeton, Omar Vizquel, and Barry Larkin? How about across of that?
Man,
damn.
All had different qualities, and each one had their own unique ability. Timpy, if you said, I want the feed right here on the double play, he would put it there every time.
Wow.
Omar going to his left and his right was unbelievable. Barry Larkin, was so athletic, and he was the only guy I could see take a short hop and catch it on the way down with the glove to make a tag, where most guys are trying to pick it going up and then coming down. He would pick it from the top down and then make a tag. He was just different and unique. Hall of Famer, definitely.
Bip, I want to switch gears here. I remember just like yesterday, we were talking in the NBC Sports studios in San Francisco, and you were telling me about your Uncuffed project. Can you talk about the Uncuffed project, your role, and how people can help?
Man, you got a great memory, man. Yeah, definitely, man. The Uncuffed project was started in the chaplain at San Quentin Prison. And this is a program for the formerly incarcerated men and women. And what we do is we try to pick them up at the gate. We try to give them 90 days of rationing, food, clothing, cell phone, gift cards, and then we get them to their destination. And once they're out, FP, what we've done now, we've expanded to having houses now that we can actually house people.
Wow.
And so now they come into one of our houses and we give them the ability to learn trades, to learn. We have a partnership with Google, learn the digital skills. And so now it's just totally expanded. My spirituality has really changed over the last 6 years. And so I just allowed God to lead the way on this. And big things are happening for this program. I mean, I got a call earlier today. There's 4 women who were in the traffic, were being trafficked, and now they've been able to get out of it, but they need housing. And so we've got to find a way to get them some emergency housing. I think that's what I'll end up doing for the rest of the evening, Saturday morning, trying to figure out how to get them in a place where they feel comfortable and safe.
Man, that's FP had told me about that, Bip, and I was amazed. I had no idea. And he told me, look, just once we ask him, tune in and listen in. I had no idea that you were orchestrating that type of movement and that type of foundation, man. That's what's up. And, I'm of the crowd right now, man, because you just never know. The pandemic taught me you never know. Man, I just want to shouts out to you and give you your flowers on that big time. That's what's up, man.
Oh, I tell you what, man, my CEO, Damon Cook, was in prison for 32 years. And he took this program to the chaplain at San Quentin, and it was approved by the Mormon temples out of Utah. And so we've just taken it and we've just moved it here in reality and fruition, and just made sure that we've done everything we can to partner with everyone to just make sure that we listen and we make sure we know, because he's been in there for 32 years, he knows how the system let people down once they get out. So we're just trying to make sure that we know.
Oh, we losing Bip there. He might be in that Bay traffic, sliding up that 680 or that 880. It's all good, man. Much love to Bip Roberts. We were getting ready to wrap up right there, man. And one of my guys, I love Bip. It sounds like you and Bip had some great conversations out there in NBC. And man, just a good dude all around.
Yeah, let's mention it again. The Uncuffed Project, what Bip Roberts is doing is really cool. Just taking people straight out of prison and just trying to provide them with a normal life. And
that's what's up.
That's what, we talk about the athletes doing this, doing that on the field, but off the field is more important. So when he told me about this, I was like, let's give this some shine. Please go check out their website and see how you can help.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Bip Roberts, NBCS, California. You'll see him this weekend with the Bay Bridge, the Bay Series. We got to get to a couple of the remarks about our Hall of Fame discussion, of course.